Our intro music is provided by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Gary down at the compound, down at the harbor. And boy, it's starting to get chilly. A friend of mine who does the Saturday show, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer, actually got snowed in British, Columbia, up in Canada here the last couple days. Oh, maybe are we going to have that cold winter like they've been talking about? Oh, in the news today, I don't even know where to start, but the world economy, according to the IMF, is ready for a major crash. And they said it's coming soon. Now, could that have anything to do with what's going on with all the terrorists in China and Canada? I don't know, but I'm certain it can't be helping. And then the U.S. military is planning a serious show of force, a showdown to China involving a lot of ships, aircraft, and a lot of military personnel out in the China Sea and off of Taiwan to show China they can't get away doing what they did yesterday with their Chinese destroyer and our destroyer trying to ram it or acting like they were going to ram it. And if we didn't actually take maneuvers to avoid being rammed, they would have rammed us. Now, tension is all building up. I hate to say it. I have warned people repeatedly that, you know what, the tariffs are going to cause some major chaos worldwide. And I think it's already happened. The tension right now between China and the U.S. and Russia has gotten way, way out of control. So, hey, maybe down the road, if our economy collapses, I know we're hurting China. We're hurting ourselves because of the tariffs. A lot of people aren't going to be able to buy the stuff they could buy because they won't have the money because of the extra cost of what the goods are going to cost. That is scary. Now, the U.S. military and our administration in Washington, D.C. just announced today they warn Russia that they will destroy any banned weapons that Russia has. Now, that is, here we going right now with China, and now we're threatening Russia. And I hate to say it, I think Russia might be more militarily advanced than we are. They certainly have weapons right now that they are actually putting on some of their older fighter jets because they have a jet that can almost go out in space, which we don't have. It has a speed that none of our jets have. And they put this new supersonic nuclear weapon, on some of their fighters. So, I think we should be concerned, but I think the tension right now of, putting the tariffs is really escalating a lot of stuff. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm kind of getting worried. And then, look what's going on with our climate. We need to be worried more about what's going on, what we stand on, and walk on and drive on every day, rather than putting these ridiculous tariffs on goods, because we're destroying our planet so fast. I mean, come on. It took how many presidents to get the EPA to put all these laws into effect to protect not just workers, our environment? And we have somebody in the White House that's just, we don't need this, we don't need that. I mean, yesterday he basically scrapped out even the mercury laws. I mean, it's just getting scary. What is going on here? I don't know. I have to be honest with you. I was a Trump supporter. I'll admit it. I thought he was the greatest thing to come along. But then, you know what? You have Bill Cosby in prison, with all these allegations of, drugging women and sexual things, supposedly. But then, look at the president can get away with it. Right? I mean, how many women have come up and said, well, the president, groped him and did this and that through the years? And then on the news, they're talking about, well, cheating on taxes big time. Fraud. I don't know what's going to happen to Mr. Trump. I don't know if he'll be in office here much longer. But I tell you that we can't risk going into World War III, not with China, and certainly not with Russia. I mean, they think different than we think. And, their philosophies are different. They were brought up different. So we could be risking some major showdowns coming down really, really soon, especially with this show of force off of the China Sea and off of Taiwan here next month. They're talking a huge, huge amount of ships and a huge amount of aircraft and a huge amount of troops. I think that is going to be, well, I don't know. That could be something that could break something. Anyway, we'll be right back with our guest, James, tonight. We're going to be talking about ghosts, ghost hunting, scary stories, and all this right after this.
Night Dreams, Scary Story Night on Friday nights. Call in at 9:30 p.m. Pacific at 1-253-203-6695.
And James, how's your day going?
Oh, it's going great, hope you're feeling better and things looking good for you too.
Well, they are. I'm just kind of, every day I subscribe to a couple of news services. And, today the news is just not too good.
That's what I hear you saying. It's got me nervous.
Well, it's got me more than nervous. I mean, what China did here yesterday with the destroyer, trying to ram our destroyer.
Yeah.
They're showing that they're not going to put up with, with our philosophy any longer. And they were...
Yeah, and their thinking's different. Like, they'll gladly sacrifice a few hundred men to prove a point. They don't care. They're just like a bunch of ants. They just keep feeding them to the fire to prove their point, where we're different mentality.
Well, they were brought up, and according, like I was watching a report this morning early from BBC, they are trained from little kids, military,
Yep.
they are obedience. They're trained to obey, and that is scary.
Yes, it is, especially if you've got a well-organized, basically a hive of a bunch of worker ants for a cause. That's serious stuff.
I know. That's what's scary. And, I hate to say it. I was not for putting tariffs or the way it was handled. I think it was handled wrong. I think it was premature. I think, if he was so tolerant with North Korea, he should have been that way with China on trying to work this out and spent more time. But I think he's just trying to keep everything off of him, and look what's all happening. I mean, the IMF today said that the economy is at a major risk of another huge crash.
Oh, Lord.
It's a bubble. And what can actually do it, if they don't get this trade tariffs taken care of, I mean, it's going to, well, not everybody in this country works at McDonald's. And people who do have a type of job that is in manufacturing, which is very small now compared to what it used to be 20 years ago, people are going to start losing their jobs. And then they're going to sit back and realize that they've really been had. I hate to say it. I don't want to sound like but I'm just sitting back. Like I said, I spent a long time, many hours a day, digesting all the news, and it's scary.
Yeah, it can pile up on you if you're not careful. That's for sure.
Well, how would you feel if Russia warned the United States that if we had any banned weapons, they're going to come and destroy it?
Yeah, that wouldn't go over too well.
Well, well, we just said that to them.
I know, you don't want somebody doing something to you, so why are you doing it to them? That's hypocritical, crazy I don't know what to think about that. It's just odd.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
just three bad things all today. I mean, they
Yeah.
even before the IMF said what they said here today. I read a report early this morning that said that the economy in the United States will implode. Now, this is all the major think tanks, the major bankers, and everybody. The majority of them feel right after the elections coming up, the economy is going to start going south, and then they said by the year 2000, 2019 to 2020. That's when the bubble of housing and all this stuff is going to implode. Because you know what? When the economy imploded last time because of the housing,
yeah.
okay, all the banks said, oh, we'll never do that again. Well, I'm talking about giving people loans that don't have the ability really to pay for their house they bought, or they didn't even have a job. They just basically got their loans.
Yeah, a lot of them were like bogus loans. They were just piling them up for stats and commissions or whatever. They weren't legit, basically, like you're saying. And eventually that stuff catches up. I mean, hello.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, they did the same thing. They went for a couple years without doing anything, and then all of a sudden, I don't know how many. If you own your own home, I do, and it's not a day I don't get refinance now from 3 or 4 different people a day almost. At least I get it. And you wonder why, hey, and it's all the same thing. Refinance your house, get out, you can get 80,000 or 100,000 back, cash back. Yeah, okay, well, wow, I'm going to lose my house for $100,000 if something happens.
Right. Scary stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think we're just going to be going into Christmas this year that is going to be a little bit more unique than normal.
It's going to be different. That's for sure. That's scary in itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I don't want to get into like I did last night. Last night I was forced to talk political, but you know what? Every night now I do a little bit, 5 minutes or so of the news. I was looking for something good in the news today, and I really couldn't find anything good. I mean, everything is about Trump, okay? All the accusations, whatever, about him, and to the point where it was like, wow.
It's redundant.
Yeah.
I know, it's redundant. It just over and over. I swear.
Well, I don't know.
I don't either.
Somebody should do some ghost hunting, on some of his properties and maybe pick up some ghosts. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one. That would probably just increase the value of his property. Everybody would be wanting them and just make him richer.
Oh, no. In the news yesterday, do you realize since he's been president, he's probably, he is so greedy. They said, when he was running for president, he was telling his staff, I don't want to pay for this. This is using my money. And he was,